Hello everybody, and welcome to term C of the winter term. And I wanted to just provide a welcome video for everybody to say welcome to HSA 1102, Introduction to Healthcare. My name is Professor Richard Nixon, and yes, that really is my name. And I will be your instructor for the next 4 weeks. So I look forward to getting to know you guys and finding out what you're about and finding out why you wanted to come into the healthcare field. So I would encourage you to begin doing your introductions if you haven't already done that. I have answered some of them already. So first thing you need to do once you log into class is you can go to meet your instructor. I provide a little bit about myself and my background, and a little bit about the course, so you can do that in your free time. The syllabus also gives you a little bit of a rundown of what is expected of you during the course. The program resources. Now, you all have a written paper that you should be writing during week 1 and submitting to the online writing lab, which we'll get to in just a minute. And to do that, you need to be able to write in the APA format, which is what Kaiser University uses. If you go to Program Resources, you'll see APA Resources here, and then several different resources, a quick 6th edition quick view, a template on how to write an APA paper, a PowerPoint guide on what APA is and when to use it, a sample APA paper, references and citations. So if you go to references and citations, this is especially helpful when you're unsure how to format your citations and your references. Now, for those of you who don't know what a citation and a reference does, basically what it does is it tells your reader that you are using somebody else's research information, written word, to make your point in your formal written paper. And when you do that, you're giving them credit for their research, but you're letting everybody know that you utilize their research to make your point. Then down below, there's a corresponding reference that lets your reader know where to go if they want to know more on that subject matter. So for your textbook has 2 authors. So if you go to slide 6, it tells you how to format the reference. And if you notice, the second line is indented by 5 spaces. That's how it should be for the reference. The first week I won't take off for formatting, but after that I will, because I'm giving you the resources you need. And then your citation should look something like this, with the parentheses, cross, or in this case it would be Heron and Mitchell, and then the publishing date, and then parentheses. And then read the notes down below. And if you had some other type of reference that you gained from somebody else, or say there's a book with 3 authors. So each source has its different way of being cited and formatted for the reference. So just look through here, an article in an online magazine, maybe you found that, and you utilize some of that information. Well, this is where, and I'm not saying use this reference or that citation, I'm just saying whatever you're using, incorporate it into how they're telling you to format it. Alright, so enough with that. And then, excuse me, I'm trying to catch a cold and I'm trying to fight it off. Down here there's a video on APA formatting and citation, so you might want to give that a quick look. And I've also added some helpful tutorial videos that I've done over time on how to write your discussion in Word, conduct a spelling grammar check, and making changes to your document as you go, and then copying that and pasting it into a discussion thread. So I would encourage all of you to look at that. This way you do not lose unnecessary points on spelling or grammar, which is what most people lose their points on for the discussion questions. So I would encourage you to watch that video and utilize that tool. Also, there is one on how to upload your week 1 written assignment and week 2, because some people didn't know how to upload their papers, so I did a video on it to show you. There's also one on how to submit to the online writing lab, which you'll need to do this week by Sunday. So you should be working on your rough draft now, and we'll go into what that is in just a moment. And then you submit it to the online writing lab so they can review it, and they'll make suggestions for better sentence structure. Maybe your grammar might be off. They might help you with citations and references. You will tell them what you think your strong points are, your weaknesses are, and where you need help. Okay, so each week we have a discussion. So if you go to the discussion section, you'll see the Ask Questions section. If you think it's going to benefit the rest of the class, then please ask your questions here so I can respond to them so everybody can see them. If it's a question that you think that is specific to you or you don't feel comfortable sharing with the class, then email me and I will email you back with that answer. And then here's the introduction. So here's where you go and you can create the thread to start the introduction. And then as you go through, read some of your fellow students' introductions and reply to them as well. Just, if you find something that you want to reply to it. This is to get you guys interacting with each other, because you will be interacting with each other on the discussions. And it lets me know a little bit about everybody and where you're coming from. And then each week you have a discussion, and you will have to post at least 4 separate posts on 3 separate days. So what does that mean? So I tend to tell people, start on Wednesday or Thursday at the latest. Answer your first question, answer your second question on another day, and then on a separate day or 2 separate days, whatever you choose to do, as long as you have 3 separate days, then you post the rest of your responses to your fellow students. So what I'm looking for is that you're going to post 4 separate posts on 3 separate days. And then we'll get into the discussion questions when I do the week 1 review, which will be a separate video. Okay, start here. This is where you'll find your certification. So if you go in here, basically what you're saying is you're going to do your own work and you're not going to cheat or plagiarize. So you hit true and then submit, and that'll take care of the certification. The pretest is an ungraded assignment but required assignment. Basically what that does is it lets me know what you know about the subject, so I can tweak the class to make sure that I get all the information you need in. And then we also use it as a baseline for your first week to compare it to your post-test, which is graded in your 4th week. So we see how much you retained and how much you learned over the 4-week period based off these 2 tests. So make sure you take the pretest. I will not grade your week 1 assignments until you take the pretest. So I will be on you about that if you don't. Class introduction, and then there's more resources for you here. Like here you have the discussion rubric. This tells you how I'm going to grade the discussion questions. So let me go over that really quick. Alright, so I'm going to be looking at the quality of posts. Were you appropriate in your comments? Were you respectful in your comments? Were you reflective in your comments? Did you bring in information from what you read for the week? Because that's what I want to see. I want to hear your own words, but I also want to hear what the book has told you, because that tells me that you're learning and that you've retained it. And did you write with a minimum of 100 words? And this is very important. It's 101 words for each post, not just the questions, each post. So I will be counting the words. Then, and you can get excellent, good, and fair to poor. And these are the point ranges for these different rankings. Then, were you relevant to the topic? Was there clear reference to the assignment or a prior posting being discussed? Were you on topic, or did you go way off in left field? You made some reference, but it was taken out of context. The reader would not understand. And then posting does not clearly reflect the assignment at all. So make sure you're looking at that. And then your contribution to the discussion. Are you posting things that further the discussion? Are you making at least your 4 separate posts on 3 separate days? And here's what I'll say about that. If you read the excellent, it says furthers the discussion with questions or statements that encourage others to respond, participates beyond the required number of posts. So, to get an excellent, even though the requirement is 4 separate posts on 3 separate days, to get an excellent, you need to do 5 separate posts on 3 separate days or above to get that excellent. Because if you're meeting the requirements, then you're doing good. So participates but does not post anything that encourages, participates with the required number of postings. So if you only do the 4 separate posts on 3 separate days, you'll receive a good, which is fine. But if you want to get the excellent, then you can go above and beyond and post above that. And then your last one, did you have spelling errors? Did you have grammar errors? Did you utilize APA format? Now, for the discussion for APA, all I need is a citation and a reference. I don't need a title page, I don't need an abstract, I don't need a reference page. So within your discussion, I need to see a citation. At minimum, it should be your textbook, because you're taking information from there to answer your questions. And then a reference at the end of, at minimum, your textbook. If you get information from somewhere else, then utilize that. So I do grade very heavily on spelling, because you are at the university level and you are documenting a legal medical record when you are filling out a patient's record for the doctor or nurse that's going to see them. So one misspelling can result in a misdiagnosis. So I'm very hard on that, so I will let you know that from the beginning. Okay, so that's the rubric, how I'm going to grade. There's also an OWL presentation, but if you watch my video, you shouldn't have a problem with that. And then there's more things down below. Okay. Alright, so I'll be doing a separate video to go over the week 1 requirements and get a little more in depth on the assignments. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to give me a call. That's what I'm here for. Or you can email me if you like. My work number and my work hours are posted in the syllabus and on the Meet Your Instructor page. And then if you call my cell phone number, do not call after 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time at night, because I won't answer. So, excuse me, if you send me an email, chances are you'll get a quick response, because I'm required to do it within 24 hours, but I check my email regularly, so you'll get it probably sooner than that. That's usually the best way. And then if we need to have a one-on-one, I can call you, or we can do a scheduled live chat just between you and I, so that I can show you on the screen what we're doing. All right. Again, welcome to HSA 1102, and let's have a good 4 weeks.